Here's the Colts pick.
With the 21st pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select KWITY PAYE, defensive end, Michigan.
All right, we see KWITY PAYE here. He's my top edge rusher, so to get him right here, I think is tremendous value. They moved him all over the field at Michigan. I think he's going to benefit from staying in one spot on the edge. Reminded me of another Michigan man, and Frank Clark, when he was coming out of school. As we see the family kind of taking this all in, good for them.
Well, what a story. Is our NFL 360 crew put it together a phenomenal feature on his journey and his family's journey to this country, as the Lowe's fam cams showing a wonderful moment for KWITY PAYE and his family.
No doubt, good for him. As we check out his next gen stats score here for KWITY PAYE, shows his production. When we put on the tape of KWITY PAYE, you want to talk about big hits. This dude is explosive, and you see it in a big way. They moved him around, as I said. You'll see him outside, you'll see him inside. He's sudden off the ball. Inside the Big Ten, you saw him bowl some big-time tackles over the last few years, so he can really convert that speed into power. He's got an inside rush. He can beat you with speed on the edge. Here he goes with an up and under. He sets that up, come right underneath you, rip, and get home on the quarterback. The effort in the pursuit is also outstanding. He just never stops. A lot of sacks, a lot of tackles for loss. They're the result of this, of just maniacal effort. And this kid plays so hard.
That was good. With the 22nd pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select FARLEY, defensive back, Virginia Tech.
Oh, there you go.
Well, Charles, hat tip to you for calling that one, my friend. Again, fluid and fast. This is, Coach mentioned, big-time comp when you talk about Charles Woods. It reminded me of Chris McAllister, who we were around. You don't find big corners that are this fluid and this smooth, Charles.
And you know something, DJ? I had to go old school. You guys know me, right? If I go comps, remember Bobby Taylor?
Oh, yeah.
Remember the length of Bobby Taylor out on the edge? Well, FARLEY with it has speed to go along with it. Plus, remember, he's only played essentially one season on the corner that's been legitimate for him. He was a wide receiver when he got there. I can't believe they're doing this with Kurt. This is just wrong. But look at Bobby Taylor snatch that one, take it to the house. That length, that ability to play the ball and get involved. That's what I like about FARLEY.
Charles. Kurt still out there.
Yeah, he can
Could
make
be more.
6 pile on. Here's the Vikings pick.
Good talk, Rich.
With the 23rd pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select DARRISAW, tackle, Virginia Tech.
DARRISAW is a pure left tackle. He can latch and control. He doesn't have outstanding foot quickness, but he's always in position, takes very good angles in the run game when you study him. Some people thought he could be a guard. Most teams feel like he is a left tackle. I believe that's where he will play at the next level. You see the movement in the run game. He can work up to the second level and seal linebackers as well. Here he is creating some movement there at the point of attack to uproot and displace defenders. Here he is climbing as a puller. You see him work up to the second level. Locate, pin and seal. Well done, very comfortable, very under control at all times. Once you get out in space, let's see you maul those linebackers. I want to see him finish a little bit more consistently. You see flashes of it like this where he can be a real bully in space and just throw guys on the ground. Here he is with the athleticism getting out on a screen. But this is a left tackle. This is a deep tackle draft. I think at this point in time to be able to get this player, a lot of teams had him way up there. I was a little bit lower on him, but this is somebody that, again, is a pure left.
It's a perfect pick at the perfect time. This guy's going to play right away. He grows on you as he watches the film because it looks really easy to him.
Yes.
It looks really easy to him. The guy gave up 0 sacks this year. Didn't give up a sack all year. In this past happy college football that we have, not to give up a sack. He is big, he is long, he is smooth. I'm excited about this young man.
Steelers pick. Cue the Boo Birds.
With the 24th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Najee Harris, running back, Alabama.
Hurdling is Harris. Who would have thought that was possible?
2020 First Team All-American.
Gets away, down the sideline, up and over.
Najee Harris, running back.
Touchdown, Alabama.
I mean, Steelers fans have absolutely got to be out of their skull excited. Every Steeler fan that I know, while watching Big Ben wing it around, does like seeing big plays, but they just miss this sort of attack that's been missing since Jerome Bettis left the team, quite frankly.
And yeah, this is a big back, Rich, 230 pounds. He's a big body, but he's got the little man's quickness. He's outstanding in the passing game. You see my comp there on the bottom of the screen. This is somebody from last year to this year got faster on the GPS. A lot of players got slower from the tracking because they didn't have an offseason. Najee Harris was much faster in 2020 than we saw in 2019. You see the explosiveness here. Once he gets to that second level, he was able to find a gear that you didn't necessarily see earlier on in his career. This was one of the more impressive plays from a running back you're ever going to see when he goes with the high hurdle against Notre Dame and then runs away from everybody else. Out of the backfield, these option routes, you want to run pivot routes, hide routes, you can get him up the rail. You can do a lot of things with Najee Harris in the passing game. Watch him adjust to this one down the field. Ben Roethlisberger used to have a guy that looked an awful lot like this in Le'Veon Bell. This is a very similar player in pass protection. He hangs in there, he stays square, and he's firm. He's a bigger back. So on third downs, you can get a mismatch with him out in the route. You can keep him in, and you can know that you're going to be protected. So I was questioning, they need to improve the run game. Do they do it with an offensive lineman? Do they do it with a back? Because they lost 3 starters on that offensive line. They clearly prioritize the back.
Yeah, and remember, they're getting Zach Banner back, so they're moving Chuks Okafor over to the side. But I love your Matt Forte comp, DJ. I'm going to go central casting with Franco Harris and stay right there in Pittsburgh because the size is almost exactly the same, 6'2", 230. Both of them run and are physical runners and break down defenses. Where Harris upgrades it is catching the football. But don't forget, Franco had the immaculate reception, so don't think he couldn't catch the football. But I think this works out really well for them, Coach Shaw, because you get a back that is a similar size, a guy that can wear down defenses when they increase the offensive line. Now, how about that for the Alabama backs?
That feels good. With the 25th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Travis Etienne, running back, Clemson.
So, teammates, it's been an all-night teammate parade. So, let's take Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne from Clemson and give him the Urban Meyer from Dabo to Urban, from Clemson to Jacksonville. Duval has got a heck of a combination.
I would say they could room together if Trevor didn't get married already. That could be a little bit awkward, I guess, if you're going to have a roommate there with Travis Etienne. But this is somebody that's a complete back. He was my top back in this year's draft class. I thought he was a great fit for an outside zone team because of his ability to just put his foot in the ground and go. You see the contact balance that he has, just pulling through tackles. When I talked to Dabo Sweeney about him, he actually compared him to Walter Payton. He went strong with his comp. There's a receiving threat. You see the double moves. It's not just running back routes. They split him out this year. You see slant and goes. They can be creative with him, and you can definitely use him in the screen game. Trevor Lawrence was very comfortable doing that at Clemson. They'll get to recreate that magic now with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So familiarity has been the word this year with the quarterbacks. They've got guys they're very familiar with.
What's up, Cleveland? Are y'all ready for this? All right. Are you guys ready for the best in the land with the 26th pick for the 2021 NFL Draft for the Cleveland Browns? We have Gregory Newsome II.
And what that means, the cornerback from Northwestern gives Northwestern football 2 first-round draft choices for the first time ever. Congratulations, Coach Fitzgerald.
Go Cats. That's what Coach Fitzgerald loves to say. Look, this is my 4th corner. He's the 4th corner off the board. He's my 27th player. They get him at 26. He's an efficient mover. He's very smooth and fluid. He had a phenomenal pro day where you saw that movement. There's never any wasted movement when he's in off coverage. He opens up his hips, he gets his foot in the ground, he drives, and he closes. How about this for him? The double move, most guys are done right here. He recovers. Not only does he recover, he finds and pokes the ball away down the field. You also get some of that physicality. Not afraid to put his pads on, guys, and show you that. The change of direction coming up here in the flat. Boom, big hit. He'll work through blocks. You see him here in Iowa, working through the block, get to the perimeter, find a way to make a play in the run game. Very, very competitive. This is a Browns defense. Last year struggled on third down, and Denzel Ward has missed a lot of time due to injuries. So they want more depth at that position. They just got it in Gregory Newsome.
Joel Clapp.
Perfect. With the 27th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Rashod Bateman, wide receiver, Minnesota.
All right, so we've got ourselves a wide receiver going to the Ravens, and wow catches. Boy, they could use moments like that in that offense, don't you think?
Yeah, you saw Eric DeCosta in their press conference, the GM of the Ravens, say he was insulted when people were saying they didn't have a great wide receiver group. They've added to it now with Bateman. He's a pure route runner. You saw him this year more in the slot. You go back to 2019, he was outside, as you see here. I think he's much better on the outside. He's comfortable out there. He's dynamic in and out of the break. He's dynamic off the line of scrimmage to win right now, immediately, and go up and high point the football, make adjustments down the field. We talk about giving Lamar Jackson a little bit more catch radius to work with. Have some undersized receivers there with Hollywood Brown and company. This guy can go up and get it. And I say wow catches, I'm talking about one-handers, twirling catches. There'll be some highlights of Lamar Jackson going to Bateman, and it's safe to say, Rich, he found somebody that loves him.
Nicely done. Well done. You like that, Coach Shaw. You like that one. And bring it down.
With the 28th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Payton Turner, defensive end, Houston.
Wow, this is somebody that got a lot of push through the end of the process here. Was phenomenal at the Senior Bowl, somebody that got better. You saw it from 19 to 20. He slimmed down, he lost a little weight, and you saw the speed to power. There were several teams hoping he was going to make it to them in the early portion of the second round. Payton Turner does not make it. It's interesting also how some teams have a type. To me, Marcus Davenport, body type-wise, is exactly the same as you see in Payton Turner, that big hulking guy coming off the edge who just engulfs guys when it gets to him with backs and quarterbacks.
And Marcus Davenport's fifth-year option was...
With the 29th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Eric Stokes, defensive back, Georgia.
All right, they decide to go and do what Joel said, go on the defensive side of the ball. Eric Stokes, this is where we could see a run of corners, late one, early two. This guy ran a 4.29. He's got big-time makeup speed, a little bit of hip tightness, plays with that side shuffle turn, but he can find and play the football for a bigger corner. That was the difference to me between him and his teammate Tyson Campbell. Gave him a little bit of an edge there because of that ability. See him being able to read the quarterback, undercut routes, get his hands on the ball. Here he is working against Missouri. Again, get your head around, find it, knock it away. The ability down here in the red zone, get your hands on him, be physical. Got to flip your hips here. You see a little bit of rigidity there when he has to open up, turn, and run. That's something you're hoping to work through. He's tough all day long, and that speed and toughness means you can use him like this, blitz him off the edge. Man, Tennessee shows up a lot of these defensive highlights.
Oh,
Charles.
boy.
Really?
Oh, boy.
And then, to me, the explosive speed. Ball comes up in the air. You can see him on special teams.
Has on his card.
With the 30th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Gregory Rousseau, defensive end, Miami.
All right. And he is here. It's a neat moment. Wow, is that Drew Rosehouse representing someone from Miami? Hold on a second. Let me just collect myself. There he is. There's Drew.
I'm happy for this kid. This kid opted out this year. His mom was a nurse and dealt with COVID. It was very real to Gregory Rousseau. That's why he opted out. Want to take care of his mother. So he goes to his pro day, does not have a great pro day. There's some thought he could slide. He was my top edge rusher. I put him as my number 2 guy. You're looking at somebody who was a high school safety and wide receiver.
Wow.
He's just figuring this whole thing out. In 1 year as a starter at Miami, he had 15.5 sacks. He didn't even really know what he's doing. So to me, when you have his size, his length, and that production, and he is nowhere near what he can be once he continues to develop.
And what a place for him to go to, Buffalo, just as the Bills are still climbing.
Yeah, and DJ said it earlier, a team built to play with a lead. With this offense, this reminds me of the Colts with Peyton Manning. It's 14-0 before you start. Here come Freeney and Mathis. Now you add Rousseau to Mario Addison, Jerry Hughes coming off the edges and getting after the quarterback. So that should be a whole lot of fun.
And this is a kid, guys, as we go to the video, who has the ability to play outside as well as reduce inside and create some pressure there as well. I talked about his size and length, and you see it show up. Look at the big hit here coming off of the edge. He uses that length when he gets to the point of attack. You can't get your hands on him, just so long. He just locks guys out. He does it in the run game. You see it as a pass rusher as well. He's going to get physically stronger, so you'll see more bull rush from him as you see him rushing off the edge here. Again, using that length peak. I talk about guys having a GPS. It's hard to be a great pass rusher if you can't feel and sense where the quarterback is. This kid has that despite not a lot of experience. You can reduce him inside and you clear the dance floor. What that means is you're going to fan out the protection and you're going to find some of these tomato can guards you're going to see in the NFL and you're going to let this guy beat up on him inside. So clear the floor and let him go to work. He's got a lot of versatility that way.
21 NFL draft. The Baltimore Ravens select JAYSON, OWEH, linebacker, Penn State.
Look out, and it will be a sack.
JAYSON, OWEH, edge.
Wrestled down to the sideline.
2020 first team All Big Ten.
JAYSON, OWEH.
JAYSON, OWEH, what do you think here, DJ?
Well, look, it's an interesting case study because he did not have a sack this last year, but when you study the tape, you see a very disruptive player. He helped a lot of guys out with his penetration and pressures. He just didn't get the finishes that he would want. He ran in the 4.3s at his pro day. He's 6'4", 257 pounds, so that will get you the label as a freak.
Say what?
Yes. Penn State, I don't know what they're doing at Penn State, but those guys all test like this it's unbelievable what they do with these guys. But you want to talk about speed coming off the edge. You go back and see a lot of really good things from the 2019 tape. You saw a lot of pressures this year as well. He can win right away. You see his ability to soften the edge. He's not real polished at this point in time, but with his explosive first step, he's able to gain an edge and make things happen. You see these flashes, the flashes of the power, the speed to power that he's going to be able to generate off the edge. It's not all there yet, but he has so much in his body. And I go back to that pro day. Again, look at this dude run.
Jeez.
He ran 4.37. He had a 39.5-inch vertical. So when you think about Wink Martindale and this Ravens scheme, how creative they are, they're going to find a way to get that athlete isolated on tight ends and on linebackers, and he will no longer have a donut in the sack column, I can promise you that.
Second pick in the 2021 NFL draft, the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Joe Tryon, linebacker, Washington.
Well, as if they don't have enough at that position with Devin White.
That brings us to the conclusion.
And, of course, Levante David. Here's Joe Tryon as the commissioner is wrapping up the evening. What do you think right here, DJ?
Well, he's an intriguing edge rusher. He's the one that we didn't see play this year. When you go back to 2019, he's got that big frame coming off the edge, and he can convert speed to power. Was very productive coach, as you know, in the Pac-12.
Absolutely. He, much like some of the guys that have been gone earlier, this guy collapses the pocket on his side. He is big, he is long, he is physical.
And you talk to people who worked him out this offseason, they just talk about what a delightful young man he was who came to work every day trying to get better. He's going to add to his arsenal.